What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We have some alerts and some major warnings here that China is significantly increasing their nuclear stockpile and they're growing their nuclear weapons here as threats of World War III are on the rise. I'll give you the details here in this video. As well as we've seen in the debate that former President Donald Trump said that he could end the war with Russia and Ukraine within the time frame if he was elected as president before he even came into office. So during the time he was president elect, well, Russia is saying no. Take a look here. Yeah, Russia is responding here and saying no. Trump says he can end the Russia Ukraine war in one day, another statement that former President Donald Trump has said. Russia is responding now here. Russia's UN ambassador says no, he cannot. Here's what Russia is saying. Donald Trump has repeatedly said he could settle the war between Russia and Ukraine in one day if he's elected president again. Russia's United Nations ambassador is saying he can't. When asked to respond to the claim from presumption Republican nominee Donald Trump, Vasily Nebenzia told reporters Monday that the Ukrainian crisis cannot be solved in one day. At a previous town hall in May, former President Donald Trump said, quote, "They're dying, Russians and Ukrainians. I want them to stop dying, and I'll have that done. I'll have that done in 24 hours." He said that would happen after he met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin. And he keeps repeating the claim on the campaign trail. During last week's debate with President Joe Biden, Trump claimed if we had a real president, a president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. Trump's campaign communication director said Tuesday that a top priority in the second term will be to quickly negotiate an end to the Russia Ukraine war. Trump believes that European nations should be paying more of the cost of the conflict. Although Russia is insisting that their special military operation actually began in 2014 after clashes in Ukraine's east resulted in Moscow seizing the Crimea Peninsula. And Russia says that Zelensky is now running around with his so called peace plan, which of course is not a peace plan but a joke, because Russia and 80 other countries insisted for the territory integrity of Ukraine to remain in place at a recent meeting that Russia didn't even attend. And Russia wants to take over Ukraine and insist on taking over part of the territory. Meanwhile, countries like China are watching very closely to see what happens here, to see if maybe they can take over Taiwan as well, and if the world will actually hold Vladimir Putin accountable for his invasion, and if he actually gets away with this, like he did with Crimea, and if he will actually take over Ukraine or parts of Ukraine, and if it's actually worth it for Vladimir Putin in the end. Because China has said multiple times that they want to take over Taiwan. And now, new reports are stating that China's nuclear arsenal is growing, quote, faster than any other country in the world. In fact, China is expanding its nuclear arsenal faster than any other country on the globe, according to a recent report. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute launched its annual assessment of the state of armaments this week and has revealed that the number of type of nuclear weapons in development have increased substantially from China in the past year. According to the report, China has increased their nuclear arsenal from 410 warheads in January 2023 to 500 just since this January 2024, so probably even more now, and it's expected to keep growing, an increase of 20% rise in a single year, which is massive. It warns that by the end of the ongoing decade, China could have at least as many intercontinental ballistic missiles as either Russia or the United States. China is expanding its nuclear arsenal faster than any other country, which is definitely a scary situation when you have a large country, China, basically the largest country population wise in the world, with it's over like 1.2 or 3 billion people. Remember, the United States has basically like 330 million people. They have 1.3 billion people. They have over a billion more people than the United States, and they're now building nuclear weapons. So, what are they preparing for? It's just not something that you really want to see from a country like China building more nuclear weapons. So, um, you see things like the doomsday clock where it's closer than it ever has been. We have two major wars going on right now with Russia and Ukraine, and what's going on in the Middle East, and the United States involved already with both of those. And now with China, you got to kind of wonder here, is China preparing for an invasion on Taiwan, and the US already spread thin? Would they have to actually then help defend Taiwan? Remember, the US has the US Taiwan Relations Act, and President Biden has already said that he would put boots on the ground to help defend Taiwan. So, this is a significant problem, and that would almost everybody would probably say then we now have World War III. Some people say we're already in World War III. Some people say we don't. Some people say it's the start of it. This would be like the worst thing that pretty much, I mean, we'd have three separate different wars going on all at the same time. The last thing we need is for China to start the next invasion. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country and around the world on a daily basis. Thanks for liking these videos. Share these videos with anybody that needs to hear this information. Click here to see why the US military is on the highest alert in over 10 years. Or click here to see why US gas prices are going up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in one of those next videos.